Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Pits of Metal Cast. It's your host, Dave. I got Alex Pickard, bassist of Thrashers Monarch. How's it going, man?
How's it going, Dave? I'm doing good.
Pretty good.
Just chilling in California on this nice, warm night.
Yeah, rub it in, man. We got 31 degrees here, man. 31 degrees in Illinois, man.
Yeah, it's a cold one.
A little bit of snow. Springtime weather with snow, man. Sucks.
Yeah, I used to live in Pennsylvania, so I know all about that.
Yeah, so Alex, give me a brief history of how this band started out.
Brief history about Monarch. We started out in high school, 2007. I began it with a former member that's no longer with us named Aaron Miller, and we formed the band inspired by metal music. We went to music classes at the high school that we were going to, and it kind of inspired us with the recent metal discovery and us getting into metal to basically pursue getting into a band and see where that would take us. And we started playing. Our first show was the Battle of the Bands at that high school, and we really loved what metal was, and we were really passionate about it. So we started to pursue that as a serious thing and started looking for other members, drummers and guitar players. A fun fact is we had Casey Trask, now one of our lead guitarists. His first show with us was that Battle of the Bands, and he ended up playing bass, and I was playing guitar in the beginning, so that was a cool little fun fact. And from there, we hired on Casey to play with us. We asked him to play with us, and throughout the years, we went through a lot of changes trying to find the right drummers and singers. And down the line, Aaron Miller parted ways on good terms, and that prompted me and Casey to look for members. And down that line, we found our drummer that is now the permanent member, Adam West. And us three were basically a powerhouse trio, just looking for the right members, and it took a few years to kind of get Monarch to what it was. I think it would be like 2012. We finally found what is now our lead singer and guitar player, Matt Smith, and ever since then, we asked him to hop on board because he was basically a free agent at the time, didn't really have a band to play with, so we asked him to hop on board, and then we started writing new material and using old material to create what is now Go For Slaughter. That was our first album that we released earlier this year.
Now, you and Casey both play in the band Cage too, right?
Yes, we both play in Cage with Sean Peck and David Garcia and Sean Elge.
How long have you been in Cage now?
I've been in Cage. I'm the newest member, basically the youngest member as of right now. Being in it, I think I'm going on year 3 now, I believe. I could be wrong. I think it's 3 years. It's been flying by so fast.
Yeah, that's gotta be fun, though. They're a great band.
Yeah, we have tons of fun. Yeah, we did a European tour last year, which was amazing. Had a great response and tour for Ancient Evil, which I personally wasn't on. I didn't record on that album, but I was asked to join the band right after they recorded that album, and subsequently was on that European tour. And we had a great time doing that. We are now in the works of trying to complete a new album, and we have a lot of new exciting material lined up in the pipeline coming down.
Yeah, you do the shows with them, you get to watch the killer vocal pipes of Sean Peck every night, man.
Yeah, it's a fun one. We all have fun playing with each other.
So now, Alex, when did you first start playing guitar or bass guitar, either one?
I started out when I was 11 years old. My grandmother gifted me a bass guitar, and it really kind of sparked my interest in music. And I used to play a lot of sports when I was younger. And once I got that bass guitar, it kind of like split up my time in between sports and like learning music and figuring out what that all was, because I grew up listening to rock and roll and always loved it, like listening to Van Halen, Boston, and all kinds of rock bands around that nature. And when I was really young, even before that, I was really interested in rock and roll. So when I got that bass guitar, it really sparked my interest. And the more I got into music in the later years, I wanted to try out guitar, and I started playing rhythm guitar, and that's kind of where it kind of connects to where I started Monarch with our friend Aaron Chip Miller, and I was playing guitar at that time, and I was doing rhythm guitars for the band. And then later, when we found Casey Trask, I switched over to bass and let him basically shine with his guitar skill was amazing. So we just thought it was the right move for me to move to bass, keep doing the rhythms, essentially, and have Casey fill in for like leads and other things of that nature.
Cool. Now, when you started playing bass, were you self-taught or you took lessons?
I tried lessons once with a guy, and he was good. He was a good lesson. I forget his name, but it was a long time ago. But I tried it out once, and it just wasn't progressing fast, or wasn't like feeding me the knowledge that I was hungry for. So I just ended up teaching myself what I wanted to know, what I needed to know, and wanted to learn. So it made the learning experience a lot easier. I just taught myself how to read tablature, which is very popular now, like a lot of people reading tabs. And along with that knowledge and skill, I started slowly but surely teaching myself how to play, and that's kind of where I get all my skill from today.
So what was the first bass guitar that you owned?
My first bass guitar was a cobalt blue Fender P bass, and that was gifted to me a long time ago.
You still have that one?
Yes, I do.
You still play it?
Yeah, occasionally I will. Like sometimes I pretty much designate however many instruments I have to different tunings depending on what I'm doing. And I usually set that one up for E standard and just leave it as is. And sometimes I'll go back to it to practice like certain songs and sometimes covers if I need to. We played with Tim Ripper Owens, me, Casey, Sean Elge, and Dave Garcia of Cage. Played a Cage show, and Tim Ripper Owens was on that bill, and he invited us to play his covers of Dio and Judas Priest. And so, yeah, sometimes I'll pick up that guitar to learn those songs and play those covers occasionally.
So how many bass guitars do you currently own now?
I currently own 3. Let me see. No, I have 4. I have 4 now. So I have the blue Fender P bass. I have a black Laguna bass. I have a red Jackson 4-string, and I also have a newly purchased Ibanez 5-string bass. So very excited about that one.
So which one do you use on stage most of the time?
As of right now, I've used the Jackson red bass the most. I used that heavily on the last European tour with Cage and a lot of the local spots here in Southern California, a lot of the shows. And I'm starting to play the 5-string Ibanez more often now, just because I wanted to expand my musical abilities. So I picked up that guitar, plus it's an amazing sound, and it's a little more lightweight, and I love the burl body type. So I'm falling in love with that guitar slowly but surely.
So when you first started playing bass, what bass players were inspirational to you?
I loved listening to, anything. Like Tom Araya was a huge influence. Slayer definitely hit me heavily younger or just getting into the metal scene. So I listened to a lot of Slayer and Tom Araya. There's just so many I really can't say, but it's like I was listening to a lot of Exodus, Testament,
Exodus,
Overkill, Motorhead, and just a long list of bands that I could just go on and on. But that was a really heavy influence. I love the sounds of Overkill and Exodus a lot. The very heavy steel sound of the bass really caught my attention. But I loved Tom Araya was like the first bass player that really stood out to me early on in my years of playing bass.
Okay, first off, I got Jeff Hanneman's poster picture hanging on my wall. Then I got Lemmy's calendar photo hanging on my wall. I got all these bands you just mentioned hanging on my wall. I got tattoo of Slayer. I also have a
tattoo of Slayer.
No, I just have the name of the name over my pentagram tattoo. And
Nice.
it's not actually a pentagram, it's a 5-point star. And I have, which we can invert into a pentagram if I want to. I have a vest. It's mainly dedicated to Slayer, but there's a lot of other bands, power, thrash, heavy, all different types of bands that I love, local and national bands that I love on my black vest, battle vest. And I have a couple purses that are messenger bags that I sewed my Slayer patches on them.
That's awesome. Yeah, battle vests are fun. I'm working on mine currently,
Battle
slowly
vest?
but surely.
Yeah. How many patches you got on it so far?
So far, I only have a handful. I mean, I've been so busy with music and everything. I've had opportunities to go out at certain events where they had an entire patch section where just vendors came out with, they bring out tables of patches, like the largest, biggest ones to super tiny ones. And I've only gathered a few so far, but I'm working on it.
So is there like any...
I got a huge wasp patch on the back of my jacket so far. As my main piece is my wasp.
Hell yeah,
it's basically a saw with a wasp on it.
Nice. I got Slayer. Which one, Dave? Helloweights. I got Slayer Helloweights on my back of my vest. And
awesome album. Yeah.
And what kind of comics do you like?
What was that?
Do you like any comics?
Comics, yeah. I really love the superhero universe, mostly Marvel stuff. I haven't really got into like reading comics a lot as a child. I just didn't have the luxury to spend money in that area. I grew up not so wealthy, so we didn't really have the luxury of going out and getting comics all the time. But it's like I really enjoy the superhero universe, and I watch a lot of the movies and follow a lot of the universe stories.
Hey, a lot of us grew up not so wealthy. Same here. I'm in that same boat. Whatchamacallit? You can order those patches off eBay for like $3 to $5. Put them on your vest too.
Cool. Yeah, that's something I would consider.
I got Harley Quinn on my vest. And I got the United States Army pins and like the military patches too on my vest also. Just mixed it up,
Killer, yeah. Support our military.
Hell yeah. So, what's the patch that you most long for?
I mean, there wouldn't be any particular one. There's so many bands I love that, building a battle vest is basically paying homage to the bands that you love most. And I love so many different types of bands and styles of music. I wouldn't have any particular one that I just honor above all. It's like I kind of have them all on a plain level of what I like to listen to. But like I said, I have that huge, I have a large saw with the wasp patch. I enjoyed Wasp. Like when I first discovered that band, I had them on repeat for weeks, where I would play their live album. And Wasp's show and style was like a huge inspiration that really pushed me to want to do not just going up and on stage and just playing a show. Eventually, I want to create a little bit more of an atmosphere for the listeners at our live show once we have the ability to pay for props and other things to make it an actual show on stage. It's like an event that people could come watch, and that's kind of like a dream that I have that the band discusses every now and then, ideas that we could have for the future. So that's a real big inspiration to me. Any
big bands you played with?
I've played with Exodus.
Nice.
Man, there's so many bands. I know we're playing with Havoc soon, which is exciting.
Hell yeah.
Warbringer.
Warbringer. Badass.
Warbringer's coming up. We've played with Warbringer before, Monarch in particular. We've played with Vector when they were still around, Ex Mortis, Warbringer.
How about Resistance? Have you ever played with Resistance?
We have. I don't believe so. I don't think we've played with them yet.
Oh, they're a good band, man. Man, I remember I seen them at the NYD on Bash. So, did we see them or we missed them? Anyways, we probably missed the show. And we ended up going back to the hotel room with them, hanging out. And we were drinking all that shit. They gave me... They tossed us a couple shirts and patches. It was sick. It was badass.
Cool.
I got this really nice Resistance patch and freaking nice ass girly shirt for Resistance. It's kind of a little bit big, but it's okay. I like them a little big. And
yeah, we're working on. We'll eventually get there. We're right now with what merch we do have available up on our website.
What you got?
We're trying to make some money back on what we have out now, and then we're going to continue to expand on that merch constantly.
What kind of merch
the
you
more
got
opportunities
available?
we get.
What kind of merch you got available right now?
Right now we have beer koozies with we basically call it the King Slicer's head, kind of like the poster guy for our first album, Go For Slaughter. Basically got koozies with that on it, our logo on it. We have black and white logo tees. We have a red colored version of our logo tee, and then we also have an album tee, which is a double-sided graphic that has the cover of Go For Slaughter on the front and then a lyric excerpt on the back. And then, let me see, I think I covered all of it. Yeah, we have
you guys
stickers,
got patches?
koozies,
No
and
patches
shirts,
yet?
a lot of shirts.
Patches yet or no patches?
No patches yet, yeah. Like I said, we're going to wait until we make some return. We're trying to save up. We got a second album already in the works. We got like a quarter to half of it done written. We're working on that. Hopefully we might have it done by next year. That's our big hope.
Yeah, it usually takes time for albums to work on. Cause
yeah, definitely.
When's your guys' next show?
Go ahead.
When's your next show?
Our next show, we have basically back-to-back show. It would be the 28th and 29th of April. And the 28th, we are in the battle for Wacken. We've made it into the finals for our region, which would be California. So California is going to battle it out at the Viper Room in Hollywood on the 28th. And if we end up winning that, which would be amazing and awesome, all the guys in Monarch have been working really hard to try to see how far we can get in this competition. Overall, we're just happy to be playing with some cool metal bands and overall play Hollywood. We've never played there yet, so we've been wanting to expand recently because we know we haven't done that in a while. So we're happy to get out there, play for some new faces, some cool bands, and hopefully if we win, we will end up going back to the Viper Room a month later for the championship, which would be considered the national championship. So all the regions finalists from all over the United States will fly out to the Viper Room to compete for the championship, and whoever wins that gets to go to Wacken and compete amongst 30 different competing countries. So that would be a great thing if we could represent the United States as the metal band in Wacken. Would be a dream come true. So we're really working hard. We'll see what happens, but we're just happy to be playing for new people and fans.
You're gonna win.
And then on the 29th, we're going to be playing with Warbringer, Hatchet, and I can't remember the rest of the list. I think it's Night Shadow, and there's one other band on that bill, or two bands that I can't think off the top of my head.
I got Hatchet patch on the back of my vest.
Yeah, our guitar player, Casey, has played with Hatchet in the past with another project, so he knows those guys fairly well, and he's excited to see them again and play with them again. I'm excited to meet them. They sound like really cool dudes.
Hell yeah, they are real cool. They're our buddies. Hatchet got some really cool, sick-ass letters. The way the letters are written and patch.
Yeah, the logo.
Yeah, blue logo. It's pretty sick as hell.
Yeah.
What do you think about the band Nervosa?
Nervosa, that's that
Brazilian.
Is that a three-piece or four-piece
Dave?
female metal band? It's pretty like death metal. Like I think I was gonna go see them play a while ago at the Brick by Brick in San Diego, and ended up not going to that show. But I heard it was really awesome. I've looked them up online, and they look pretty badass. It's a badass female metal band, so it'd be cool to play with them if we ever got the opportunity.
You guys ever play with Death Angel?
Yes, we actually did play with Death Angel. That was one of the bands I forgot about the question earlier, if any big bands we played with. We have opened up with Death Angel. Newcomb was on that show. They were direct support opening for Death Angel. That show was badass, and that was for their most recent release.
I got a Newcomb patch.
Sure.
And a
yeah,
shirt.
those guys are awesome.
I all these bands we mentioned I got patches and shirts and CDs and vinyls.
Cool.
So for the name Monarch, who decided to pick that name for the band?
Me and Aaron, going way back to the beginning, me and Aaron Chip Miller wanted to put a band together, and we, knew it was important what kind of name you came out with. You want to be original, and you want to make a statement with your band name, essentially. So we did a lot of work on writing down a very long list of potential names, kind of whittling them down, what was cool, what sounded stupid, and did a lot of research online. Like, we used what was available to us back then in the early 2000s, like Wikipedia was coming out, Google was getting bigger, YouTube was up and running by that point, and kind of cross-referenced all the names that we liked once we whittled down the list to see what wasn't taken or, from as far as our knowledge, not used in our area, or we were trying to get something as unique as possible. So at that time, we kind of sat down on Monarch and did a lot of research as deep as we could, and didn't find any bands in the United States, as far as we know, that had that name at that time. So we chose to pick that name and run with it for until now. Yeah.
Now, for the album Go For It, Slaughterhouse, the sales been going for that one?
Oh, it's been going great. It's actually picked up recently more than ever. When we first came out with that album, we had a huge surge of sales, and that was exciting, and dipped down for a moment. And we've actually seen an increase of sales of merchandise and CDs. We've been selling stuff to people in Sweden, Germany, as well as multiple states within the United States itself. So we're really reaching a bigger audience, and it's kind of like a dream come true for us, for people even on the opposite side of the world to know who we are and to buy our albums and to listen to our music and share it with the people out there. So that's super exciting for us.
So far, being in the band Monarch, what's been the fondest memory of being in the band?
Say that question again? Sorry.
I said, since you started this band, what's been the fondest memory that stands out to you being in the band?
The fondest memory. I mean, we have a lot of memories from back in the day. I think the coolest thing that I could think of off the top of my head, which is it's a little bit of an older memory. I'm sure there's a better one, but off the top of my head, we ended up playing a place that's no longer open. It was the Metaphor Cafe in Escondido in the mid-2000s, early 2000s, I believe. And we ended up, I don't know how we got on it. We were just barely coming on the scene, but we got a chance to open up for everyone on this bill was at that venue. It was Vector, Warbringer, Ex Mortis, and I could be embellishing this on accident, but I think it was maybe Havoc as well. I believe there was one other band on there that was really big at the time, but we did end up playing with all those bands at that venue, with maybe the inclusion of Havoc. I can't be sure, but it was like the craziest metal show ever to like amass in North County that I've ever could see, and it was an all ages venue on top of that, so it was an insane like party / metal fest, like just in our hometown, which was super exciting, and we were stoked like when we were kids back then to like even be opening up for bands like that Ex Mortis is a lot larger now. Just they're touring with Amon Amarth and doing huge things now, so we've kind of had our hiatus that slowed us down, but it's definitely an encouragement to us that those bands that are pretty much in the same age range as us, that started around the same time as us, have been so successful now in the metal scene that we really want to like follow in that footstep and kind of get to that level eventually.
That is so awesome that you guys... I just found out you're playing kids. I know you guys already covered it, but it's so awesome. Send my shout out to Sean Peck.
Oh, I will.
From Tanya. From Tanya, okay? Remember my name, Tanya.
I will. I'll let him know.
So, funny or embarrassing stories about the band? Come on.
Embarrassing stories. It's not me in particular, but our former member that he won't mind if I say this because he knows this story. It's a funny story we tell every once in a while, but I guess the most embarrassing was when we were a lot younger, very new to the scene. Our singer, on the way up to a certain venue, got pretty wasted wasted off of some alcohol. And when we got to the venue, he was pretty wasted, and I was kind of worried, but we were having fun. We were kids doing stupid stuff. And he ended up peeing on the side of the venue and getting caught, and we almost got thrown out of our own show. The bouncer caught him and got super pissed and like wanted to throw him out, and I had to beg the security guard. I was like, please, like we're playing tonight, like he'll get his shit together, please, we're playing tonight. We drove like further than we ever had at that point. I think it was in Long Beach somewhere, and we ended up playing that show nonetheless to I think 10 or 11 people. It's on a weekday, I think, and that's a pretty funny, embarrassing story, but that's
10?
one of the memories I have.
10, 11 people, really? Oh my god. Okay, the smallest show I've been to was this local little teenage band. There was about at least 22 people. That's the smallest show I've ever been to. 22 people, and it was a free show too. What the fuck? Only 22 people?
Yeah. It happens sometimes, yeah.
Usually I always go to the bigger shows like Saxon, even the local metal bands. I go to the bigger shows because, they draw in more crowds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So have you ever played in LA yet?
No, we've been doing a lot of talking with a lot of new promoters and bands that do play in that area. And we're planning to play in Long Beach, Orange County, LA area very soon. We got a lot of things in the pipeline. We got a lot of shows lined up already, exciting shows lined up. So
anything you can mention?
We're working on it, but we're working on expanding. I have something in the works right now that we might be going down to Mexico to play a show, which is going to be exciting. So we're working on that as well. So we're definitely We're currently expanding out of the North County, San Diego area, because I know we've played this place to death, and we definitely want to expand our fan base and get out there to more of a larger metal audience.
Have you been to Modesto, Fresno, Sacramento?
No, we haven't traveled that far yet. We're definitely wanting to do that. Just what limitations we have, and kind of not trying to overstep our bounds too quickly. But slowly but surely. I know it's late in the game for us. We've been out for 10 years now, but we're definitely stronger than ever. We really got the fire behind us in the last 4 years with the addition of Matt Smith to kind of drive the band. This is the best lineup we've ever had, so it's I finally kind of completed the perfect lineup that we were hoping and wanting, and then that's why we ended up coming out with the album with Matt, with the new addition to our lineup to definitely kind of lock that in, and now we're progressing forward with the band faster and larger than we ever could have thought imaginable.
But with Cage, you've been out of the country, right?
With Cage, what was that? Sorry.
You've been out of the country, right?
Yeah, we went to Europe last year.
Yeah. So you can't say you haven't been anywhere else, because I know you're in the band Cage. How long have you been in Cage?
I've been in Cage 3 years now. I think it might be going on 4, but 3 for sure.
Okay, that's cool. So with Cage, you've traveled everywhere else, but not with your band, Monarch.
Yeah, Monarch is getting there. Definitely working on getting the funding and ability to further distance travel, and it's slow trudging. The more fans we get, that's kind of the more we have, the more we can do. So we're working on that, and we're definitely ready and willing to expand in the near future. Absolutely.
Question: how far are you from Hawaii?
I believe Hawaii is I don't even know. It is a far jump from California.
6 hours at least, right?
Can't remember how far it was.
6 hours by flight?
Yeah, I believe so. I haven't gone before. I've never been to Hawaii.
But what if your band got offered a show in Hawaii? Would you go?
Yeah, if everything lined up and everyone could make it, and if we could get the plane tickets to get out there and back, and time off and all that random crap with our jobs, if we could make that happen, that would be super awesome. I would be super down to do that.
You know what? I just found out you can actually get airplane tickets for $29 to fly within the United States of America. There is deals on the internet. You just have to sign up for the couple apps, put a couple apps on your phone, and it's just give your email address, and you can get a ticket for $29 just for a one-way ticket, and for a way back, it's the same price.
That's cool.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure, they have their
I just found this
little
out.
scheme to make it work, but yeah, that's cool. There's deals like that out there.
It's a legit scheme too.
Cool.
Yeah. So, Dave.
So you think you'd ever do a show with Cajun Miner together?
And we do have one actually coming up. Man, I got so many dates and things going on right now. I can't really remember the date specifically, but I know in a couple months we have a show with Cajun Monarch and Power Glove coming up.
Power Glove?
So that's going to be an awesome show, and that's going to be at the Brick by Brick in San Diego. I just totally slipped when that's going to be, but it's in a couple months down the road.
Who is Power Glove? What type of music are they?
Power Glove is like a metal band that kind of incorporates video game music, so it kind of combines the geeky nature, nerdy nature of like video games. I'm a video gamer. I'm super geeky. I love playing video games. A lot of our band members are, so it like kind of combines video game music with the topping of metal to it. So it's like if you can imagine any video game plus distorted guitars and metal playing, like that's basically what they bring to the table, and it's super awesome. Definitely check them out when you get the chance.
Okay. You said, what was the club's name? You said?
Brick by Brick.
Brick by Brick?
Yeah, Brick by Brick in San Diego. That's kind of like our home base down here. They've been the most hospitable to us, and they're definitely growing their scene very strong. Not just in the metal scene, but on all fronts. But definitely metal is most welcome there right now. It's kind of like the hot spot in Southern California. It's slowly but surely attracting even the bigger bands like Death Angel and bigger acts like that, and it's definitely been doing really well. John 5 just played, or is going to play there soon. So there's a lot of big acts that do come through there now, which is awesome for us. Kind of gives a name to a venue and gives it more legitimacy to get bigger shows. So that's definitely been helping us with, especially with the loss of a lot of the other venues that we did have in the past. We used to have a lot of more all-ages venues that have shut down in the last 5-10 years. So we don't really have an all-ages venue anymore besides one, Soma, that's in San Diego. But
Assholes.
Not a lot of metal shows get booked through there often. Yeah. At least our genre.
It has to be like Five Finger Death Punch or Avenged Sevenfold or some shit that kids like.
Yeah, it's like their booking strategy is whatever they do, but we have played there before with Newcomb, so that has happened in the past, but we haven't. I've tried to reach out to them and try to book another metal show, but just haven't heard back from them yet.
I'm on a Cage Light page. I see a show at Brick by Brick Sunday, September 30th. The one with Angra.
Angra, yeah.
Night Shadow.
That's on the books right now. I think we might be doing a tour then, but that is still up in the air.
Yeah, it says World Tour.
Doing that show, but if we do end up doing it, that would be a fun one.
Yeah, I'm looking. I'm on my phone. I'm on my third Facebook profile because the other two are in jail because of politics. Fucking politics, man. So, how's your like page spelled? MONARCH official?
Are you looking for our Facebook page?
Yes.
So if you do facebook.com/Monarch Thrash as one word, you should find our page very quickly.
Oh yeah, that's just gonna give it, because I'm already on my Facebook and I'm just gonna look at it and I'm looking at it and I'm trying to see your event schedule, so we can find out what shows are coming up. You got the Whack and Battle, the Warbringer, Power Glove with special guest, August 15th. Oh my God, that's 4 days before my birthday.
Cool.
Hey, maybe by August, me and Dave will be out in Cali. I have enough money. We'll come to Cali. Definitely gonna come see you guys.
Yeah, you get to catch the doubleheader of Cage and Mark in one fell swoop. Plus, Power Guy's an awesome band, so I mean, it'd definitely be worth your while.
Hell yeah! Plus, Night Shadow's there.
Yeah, Night Shadow's a great band.
Oh yeah.
We'll also be battling with them on the 28th.
Oh, that's cool.
So we're hoping that either one of us can win the San Diego finals to represent San Diego and ultimately the United States. It's kind of like an Olympics of metal, which every region and every country is competing, and whoever becomes victorious represents their country in Germany for the Whack and Battle of the Band. So that's kind of a cool way to think about it. That's kind of how I envision it.
Hell yeah. That's awesome, man. You guys got a pretty cool tight-ass background on the red and the fiery red, then yellow coming through, then the Monarch sideways.
That's that Judas Priest firepower thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just put that up as our little background on our page for now. I had it as a flyer that we just played, so I just had to change it out real quick.
Now, who does your artwork? The profile photo looks like Guar. Looks like kind of like Odor's Hungers from Guar.
The artwork for Go For Slaughter.
Yeah.
The guy that did our artwork for Go For Slaughter was John Carcass Fossum, and he's based out of Texas. And he's done a lot of stuff for War Beast. I believe he's done work for Phil and Somno and a couple other big name bands out there.
You're talking about my boys.
His name's John Fossum. His nickname's Carcass. He's the great artist, and he was awesome to work with to basically get this idea that we've had in our brains for years that we wanted to get out, and he definitely made that a reality with this album cover, so we were really happy with it.
No, dude. So I'm on my third profile, okay? Like I said, I haven't used this profile for like 5 or 6 years, and 5 years ago, me and Dave went to see Warbeast and Guar. We were following them on tour. We went to Lincoln, Nebraska, and Iowa. Then we took a couple days off. We went back home to Chicago. Then we followed them to Jacksonville, Florida. That was the day I got smacked in the face by Odor's Hungers. And 2 of my teeth got knocked out, and I got bloody as fuck.
Oh my gosh.
That's
an awesome story.
That's a nice night to remember, and that's a year before you died, too.
Wow.
Yeah, I got to see him before he died.
Yeah.
I got pictures, videos, and all that shit. It was an awesome night that night.
So what do you think about the new Judas Priest Firepower album?
Kick fucking ass would be the 3-word review I'd have for that album for sure. Definitely brought it out. It's sad with the development with KK wanting to leave and do his own thing, and
Glenn with the Parkinson's.
Glenn, he what was it, Parkinson's he got, and that really sucks. But it's awesome that he went through with recording the album. If it is his last, it's an awesome album to go out on. It's awesome to hear the classic Judas Priest sound kind of come back to light, and with the nuances of the new sounds of metal, and so they really pull it through with kind of a hybrid of the classic and the new, and it just kind of really rips. And the Falcon with their new addition to guitar playing is awesome. He really came in and stepped it up for Judas Priest, which it's an awesome opportunity for him. I'm sure he's stoked about that and having a blast doing the whole Judas Priest thing, and it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. But yeah, Faulkner does a great job.
Yeah, it's good to see Glenn Tipton come out every once in a while and do the three encores with the band.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really glad that they ended up doing something like that, and I'm sure I haven't seen it live, but seen it on other sources like YouTube and stuff. That really gets the fans hyped to see, somebody that grows old that's had so many years in experience and such a high ranking in metal to come out and do what he can for the fans, and it's just definitely something I look up to and respect, because when you play metal for that long and influence that many people, and you do it to the very end, even though with the troubles he has, that's kind of the sentiment that I would feel as well. It's without music, I don't know what I'd be doing. I'm going to try to do this till I can't do it anymore. So definitely something I want to follow in the footsteps of.
So, Alex, I'm on your page looking. You guys did play with Nervosa.
Okay, yeah, that might have been a long time ago. I don't remember.
Yeah, it says you guys started in 2007. You guys played with Metal Legends, Death Angel, Mortis, Warbringer, Vector, and Brazil's Nervosa.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I think what it was is I couldn't end up staying for that band or whatnot. I think there was something with like an ex-girlfriend. I didn't want to stay and I had to leave. Long story short, we're not together anymore.
Ex-girlfriend, yeah. Ex-girlfriends suck.
Yeah, but I really wished I could have seen them live. I heard they were great.
I was never nobody's ex. Dave's my first and he was my last.
You're a lucky one.
So I met my soulmate when I was like, what? Teenager.
It's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, it is awesome. Did you meet yours now? You have one?
Yeah, I'm currently going out with somebody at the moment.
Cool.
I'm off the market.
Cool, get married now. Yeah. Do you have any kids?
Well, we'll see. No.
No, okay.
No kids.
Wait till you're ready.
My babies are my bases at the moment.
How many bases
None
do you
are
own?
babies are animals.
4 bases? What models? What model?
Well, I mentioned earlier that they were Lagunas, Jackson, Fender, and Ibanez. So I've kind of like hopped around a little bit, but I really like to try out new things, and I really enjoy the Jackson bass and the Ibanez bass the most.
Let me ask you, is your Ibanez bass black?
It is not a particular color, no. It's kind of a burl blue gray top with a darker wood on bottom, so it's not a particular color. It is dark.
I have a black Ibanez guitar.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, Ibanez. I love Ibanez. It's like my favorite out of everything. I don't know why.
Yeah, they're a great company, and I'm hoping to use it more often and kind of learn it more. I love the tone and the sound and the feel of the play of it so far, so maybe one of these days I'll link up with a company that will treat me well. Just gotta keep working at it and hopefully do a couple more things. Like eventually down the line I might want to do some YouTube stuff, but we'll see.
So, what strings do you use? What brand strings do you use for your bass?
I'm actually been in a phase of where I'm actually going through multiple different types of strings. But right now, Ernie Ball seems to be the go-to. I've tried out the Elixirs, DRs, Ernie Balls, DRs. Yeah, I played DRs a little bit, and yeah, I've kind of just hopped around to kind of find what string I like the most, and plus the different types with the nickel and the cobalt and all kinds of choices. I'm kind of trying to find the string that fits me best now that I have kind of more options. Financially, I can go out and do that, so that's what I've been doing the last couple of months. But right now, I am with Ernie Ball. That's what I have in my Ibanez.
We got less than 2 minutes. I want to ask you something. So where do you usually buy your strings at? Guitar Center, or is there a certain store you go?
Yeah, I'm trying to move towards more going online. I just I like going in store and kind of feeling out what string would be best for me. I just haven't done that just yet, but yeah, I typically go to my local Guitar Center because I know a few people working there, and so I kind of support Guitar Center through them. You know,
Hell yeah, I love Guitar Center.
People. I don't really have a local store near me, but I'm eventually going to move to probably purchasing online.
Guitar Center is where I bought my Ibanez from 6 years ago.
Yeah,
and
that's awesome.
And my Fender barstool chair, leather chair, where you sit on it, play guitar, and my Fender Mustang amp and my Fender miniature amp.
It's cool.
I gotta have Fender. I love Fender amps. They're sick.
Yeah, I practice on a single 15 Rumble 100-watt amp with the Cage guys in a small practice space. So that's one of the amps I use for practice, just so I can leave it there at his house.
Nice. Yeah, I got one of those little white amps, like peach beige color amps, where you could travel with, take it in the woods with you, put batteries in it, play guitar. Mm-hmm. So yeah. I want to thank you for your time, Alex.
Thank you, both of you. This is awesome. Thank you very much for having me.
Then stay on the phone for a sec, okay?
Okay.